In this video, I'll be going over the code implementation for LRU cache. So let's start with Doubly node and Doubly linked list. So in our Doubly node, there'll be four fields. So the first field is our key, and the second field is our value, and also our next node and our previous node. So inside the constructor, we're going to create a constructor which will accept the key and value pairs. So this dot key is equal to key, and this dot value is equal to value. So the next and pref will initially have a no value. Now we want to implement our doubly linked list. We're going to create two fields, which is the sentinel head and the sentinel tail. Then we want to create our constructor. We want to initialize the sentinel head and sentinel tail. There'll be no key values for our sentinel head and sentinel tail because it is just there to allow us to have an easier time for our methods. Then we want to set this.head.next to this.tail, and then this.tail.pref to this.head. Now we want to implement our three methods. The first one is a add first. So we add a node to the start of our list. I want to set node.pref to head, and then node.next to head.next. Then I want to set head.next to node, and actually head.next.pref to node, and then head.next to node. Now I want to remove a node from our list. And then after we remove it, we want to return it. So we want to remove a node. So we want to connect the previous with the next node and connect the next node with the previous node. So node.pref.next equals to node.next, and then node.next.pref is equal to node.pref, and then we want to disconnect the current node. So node.next is equal to null, and node.pref is equal to null. And then we can return the node. The next method we need is removing the node from the end of the list. So we want to return, remove, invoke on the last node, which is tail.pref. Now we can implement the LRU cache. Let's create our fields. The first field we need is our hash map, which will keep track of the key and also a duplicate node, which are map, and then also our doubly linked list nodes, and also our capacity, which would be the input capacity. Let's initialize the fields. The first method we need is get the value associated with a key. We want to check if the key exists inside a map or not. So if map does not contain key, then we just return -1 because there's no value. Now we want to retrieve the node associated with this key. We want to remove the node and move it to the front of our list because it's recently used. So we want to nodes.remove node, and then nodes.add first node, and then want to return the value. Now for the put method, we want to update the key with this new value, or if it does not exist, we want to put in a new node. So let's check the map. So if map does not contain the key, we want to put a new key value node into our map and also into our list. So I want to create a new node first. New node of this key value pair. We want to put this node into a map. We want to add this node to the front of our list, to the start of our list. At first, node. And then we want to check if the current map or if the current cache exceeded capacity or not. So if map.size is greater than capacity, we want to remove the last node from our list, which is our least recently used key. So Doubly node, last node. Let's go to nodes.remove last. Then we want to remove this node from our map too. So map.remove last node.key. Else, we want to update the node. We want to update the value associated with this key. So we want to retrieve it from our map. Map.getKey. We want to remove the node from our list and move it to the front. So nodes.remove node, and then nodes.add first node, and then we want to update the value associated with this node. So node.value is go to value. Let me know if any questions in the comment section below.